My old friend. How are
My
you
old
doing?
friend. Hey, who's calling who old?
Hey, listen. Nah, not me. I would never do that.
I must apologize for last week.
Oh,
Zoom
don't worry.
betrayed me, thoroughly betrayed me. I didn't know
Uh,
whether I should cry or get mad. Then I realized that neither one would fix anything. So,
yeah, it's not gonna fix anything. We got this. Do it
right.
again. What do you want to know? I forgot everything we talked about
Oh,
because.
good, because I was going to repeat just a few questions, but not too
Okay,
many.
good. Good. I'll just make up new things.
That's fine too. And I am double checking and triple checking my recording, and it looks like we're good to go. So,
Hi. All
is 94.9 The River, and we are joined here by LP, who is luckily joining us again after a little catastrophe last week. So thank you so much for coming back. Yeah, I just wanted an
Oh
excuse to
man,
talk
it's
to
all
you
good.
again.
I mean, this is how it all begins, Rochelle. I don't know. This is how some of the greatest affairs of all time begin.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Is your
don't
dog still
cry.
around? I noticed there you
My dog is still around. Yeah, come here.
could you
Come here.
introduce us?
Yeah, here he is. Hi.
And what's his name?
His name is Orson.
Orson. What breed is this dog?
He is a Brussels Griffon.
Beautiful. And I've seen some just adorable pictures too on Instagram. So
Yeah, he's he's not a camera guy, but he sure looks cute when you catch him right.
right, yet another star in the house.
Yeah, exactly. So you gotta share everything
Well, I've
with this guy.
been spending some time really enjoying your live album. You know, people in Idaho have a hard
Cool.
time saying Moscow because we have a town in the northern part of the state called Moscow. So I have to remind myself.
That's funny. I didn't know that. Moscow, Idaho.
Yeah. You've got a new song out. Does that mean you're working on an entire new album right now?
Oh yeah. The new album is eminent. Yeah, it's gonna be good.
Any
I'm excited.
idea when that might be?
It is probably 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 in September-ish.
This is my new single, The One That You Love.
You got what you wanted. Now that you got what you need, girl, if we're gonna be honest, honestly, what's left for me? I'm not his boss, I'm not. Hello, try to be the sun, try to be your home and a place that you come to. Never took the whole world, put it in your hands. Really trying hard, but I don't understand. Tell me how to be the one that you love. How to be the one that you love. Well, don't treat my love like a habit. Why don't you
We were talking about producers and the importance of a producer, and like this new single, I really love it because it sounds really dreamy, but it also sounds like something you might be able to hear in a club.
Oh yeah, which one? The How Low Can You
Hello.
Go?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man. I think it's got that kind of flow to it. There's some other stuff on the record that feels like it has that vibe, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So do you want to
Yeah.
talk a little about your producer?
Mike Del Rio, that's my guy. You know, we're like a band. You know, he and I, we are this is our third record together. You know, we're best friends and we're just like, you know, we're like you know, we influence each other and you know, I love his you know, his aesthetic musically and otherwise, you know, and I feel like, you know, he just gets me from the very beginning and we just I think complement each other, you know, like now when we write together, often with Nate Campany as well. We did Lost and New, we did How Low Can You Go. Um, you know, we there's like a flow, like an understanding. It's cool.
So you actually write together with your producer?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I got to thinking last night of all the touring you've done and the places you've been. I'll bet you know what countries offer the best wine.
Oh, the best wine. You know, America's pretty damn good as it goes, but France, of course, and Italy, uh, probably mostly. I mean, I think I do the most wine hangs. One of my the guy who runs my label, well, all three guys, Dario and Alvaro and Matteo, all ending in O's, in Italy, of course. They're always like, you know, introducing me to these incredible wines. So I think Italy, you know, like mainly because I just everybody there is so into wine, and we just like we go to town when we go there.
Can you say a little bit about the song Girls Go Wild?
Mm. Well, it's you know, that was on the last record. It was you know, I remember going out to to Joshua Tree and that we wrote it there, and I remember it took us a while to get that one right, like in a way, like especially Mike with production. He was like kind of like experimenting with different things, and I remember when we were playing it on the road, and it was a little slow, and then like we kind of it just like was one of those examples of like playing it, it's like kind of too slow, and you feel like oh it needs more, and then I don't know, we just like kind of sped it up, and he just like he just dialed it in, and then it kind of became a single. And it's, I don't know, it's just like I feel like that song has a lot of you know, weight to it in a way. Like it felt like, you know, it never felt it's like one of those songs you could play at every show every day and never get sick of it. So I don't know, I like it.
And I asked this question before, but I'll ask again if you don't mind. How much creative input do you get on your videos? Do you get to tell the story that you want, or are you forced in a certain direction?
No, I mean we get, you know, we get treatments sent in and stuff, and then sometimes we have a whole idea from that we pose to the director, and then they chime in. It's a collaborative effort, you know. And you know, Steven Schofield, this new director that I'm working with, came in because it was like we had a we couldn't do it with the guy that did How Low Can You Go, who we were going to work with again, who I love, Eric Malden. But so Steven stepped in like towards the end of it all and just had this idea of you know, you'll see, but it was like grandiose, and it was kind of in keeping with what I wanted. Like there were like elements of it that I wanted. And then when he presented this idea, I just thought it was like a beautiful way to tell the story, and had the like epicness of the you know, it's a very like dramatic, romantic kind of notion in the song, you know, of you know, loss and missing people, or you know, wishing you could have one last time with that person.
And that reminds me of another song. If you could talk about the track called Recovery.
Oh yeah. You know, that song, I had that song for years, maybe like almost 8 years when I put it on that record. It was a song I wrote, I believe, for somebody else, and I wrote it about I wrote it from you know, not silly way, but like in you know, I wrote it from my ex's perspective when I left, and I just was like trying to remind myself not to like, bug her or kind of be, to like deal with all my guilt with them, and be like kind of, feeling bad and constantly checking in and stuff. And I didn't do that. I think it was a good idea. And then, when I was on the other side of that in the next relationship, I really felt it, and it felt like the right time to put it on a record. And so, that obviously deals with just trying to get over someone, and knowing that it's a process and it takes time.
It's funny how that time and maturity kind of makes you react different to that. I know it took me a long time. It's still taking me time.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's, you kind of unravel it in your head over time. And, and ultimately, like, as you probably know, I mean, anyone who thinks it's like, one person's fault is, I don't know, they need to live a little more, because it's never one person's fault,
I spoke with you a little bit about this last time, and if we could go there again, I was hoping you could take just a few minutes and talk about gender, because you seem really nonconformist and like you can be yourself anywhere, and just wonder how much judgment you've suffered for that, and do you still?
I don't accept judgment for that. That's not really on the table. I don't really give a shit. I don't care what you think about how I carry myself or how I walk into a room. It's like, you know what I mean? Like, I have my own experiences. I roll how I roll, and the people that like it, they like it, and the people that don't like it can suck it. I really don't care. Like, it's not up for discussion. Who I fuck, what I fuck, how I fuck. So there you go. Did you get enough fucks on the air? Yeah, I just don't, it's not, yeah, it's just one of those things that I don't, and I'm not one of those people that I don't ask for acceptance of it either. It's just like, it's not really in the conversation. It's like, I don't remember like straight people walking up to other straight people being like, hey, so that's your wife? She blows you every night? Crazy. Wow. It's like, it's none of your fucking business. So deal with it.
Right. And we are in a, a state and city where a lot of people can still get fired for being different. So what words would you share with those folks who are struggling with that in the world we're living in right now?
I mean, that's a hard one, because, I built my life so I don't have to care, but I understand, I have empathy for people who have to care. I think that, I think it's not to sound like a huge hippie, but I think it's like the vibration of how what you are willing to accept and not accept, and treating people with respect and dignity, whether they like you or not, and just knowing that, just feeling comfortable in your own skin. The more comfortable you can feel, and that comes from community and friends and things like this, and trying to find people. I don't believe in isolating yourself within the community. I'm a advocate of diversity. I don't want to hang out with like 40 people who look like me or act like me. It's just not my vibe. So, but I do think that being part of a community, at times, and knowing that I'm not alone made me feel better. And then I can go out in the world and add my diversity into the world. I mean, we all have a place in this world. That's the biggest thing. You deserve your space in this world, and nobody is going to tell you different. And and we're met with like opposition, obviously. And when those times happen, maybe more so lean on community. But I think it's the people that came before us that broke down the doors and the walls for us to live freer and have a more beautiful experience as far as being on the spectrum, whatever it is. I think we owe it to them to also be strong. It's like shit moves at a glacial pace sometimes, but that doesn't make it a bad thing. It's just like we are all a brick in the wall, as somebody said. So good. Yeah.
And I was thinking about this morning that I was going to talk to you about this, and some people were talking about a gender reveal party, and I was thinking how primitive that's going to be someday. That we have to associate a baby with a color. Why?
Yeah, it's like it's a life. Why not a life color? Like whatever. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's we still have so far to go, right? And those people, I don't want to frown on the people who who revel in the practices of old. I mean, you can't force feed enlightenment onto anybody. It's not. First of all, it's not right in my opinion, and second of all, you just can't. Motherfuckers have to come on that shit themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Beep beep boop boop. Are you beeping out curses? You sound like a rap song.
I just want you to be yourself, so don't worry about that at all.
I will.
Thanks for your discussion on all of that. And I wonder if you could, I know you've talked about this before, but there's so much to say with your song Lost on You and what you went through before and after that song.
That song came during a really interesting and weird time in my life. I felt like I felt both my relationship, like my lover, and my record deal, kind of like whatever my push, like that was like kind of supposed to be happening, kind of wane and go by the wayside, and I didn't really, and there was nothing to do about it. Like it was like happening, at a really slow, methodical pace, and you kind of like there's nothing I couldn't keep her from like kind of like falling for someone else, or I couldn't stop like people that loved me from getting fired from the label, and like new people coming in and being like, what the hell is that, so it was like kind of a little bit of a helpless place, and and again it was like from both sides, from a personal and professional. And I remember Lost on You was definitely my heart set, my mindset at the time. And I remember I used to look in 2015 or so. I was always like, oh man, that was like the worst year ever, But then like, when 2016 came along and it was a hit in like all those countries, Lost on You was, I was like, it's like, that was maybe one of the best years of my life, because I wrote that song and a bunch of other songs that really changed my life and changed my whole career and everything. And, I sort of like in some ways liken it to 2020 and stuff, where we're just like very ready to bash on 2020. And yes, there's a lot to bash, and it was not pleasant. It is not pleasant still, but it's kind of fertile ground for like future kind of appreciation and understanding of like what's important. So when you're going with the suffering, I think is like fertile ground.
Your new music projects, waiting for the album to come out, and I see tours are already planned, which is pretty exciting. The only bad news I have is that I don't see Boise on there, but I do see Portland and Seattle, so I'm going to cross my fingers.
There you go. Yeah, it's that's gonna happen. I mean, I don't know. It might get might be pushed again. We don't know. I know. Everybody's like the whole touring world, all bands in the world. It's kind of hard to believe. Like it's such a weird thing to think like. Because usually if you can't tour, there's other people capitalizing on all,
Right.
And it's like, there's just not happening right now. It doesn't matter who you are. You can be the Rolling Stones or whatever, and like, no touring for you. Sorry. So yeah, so we're just waiting to hear stuff, and see how the vaccine rolls out and, all the things.
Yeah. Well, looking forward to it, and really do hope you come through Boise talking to LP. Yeah. And the website is imlp.com, and you're on all kinds of other social media. I'm enjoying your Instagram. Of course, you're out there on everything. Can you tell us a little bit about the song Muddy Water?
Muddy Waters? Yeah, I wrote that with this guy, Josh Record in England, in London one time. And, I just, that was another, one for the, I was feeling the ominousness of that year. And I think I wrote that, I might have written that a bit later in like the end of 2014, because I think that was one of the 3 songs I played for Warner Brothers, and then they dropped me, and then I moved on with my life in a much better fashion. But yeah, it was like so I was still feeling that that loss, and I was wanting to write something that just felt very dark and ominous, and I was likening I love when things are like have this duality to it, like Muddy Waters is such a great artist, and I was like, I wonder if I could like write a song that has nothing to do with Muddy Waters, but like just the, it's like basically a metaphor for like, like it's a co-metaphor for like destroying our planet, and for like like likening that to like the destruction of a relationship, where just like, shit's the bed or whatever. But it started from, we wrote it from that little guitar thing, and we had like a chain in the studio. Nice. We had a chain in the studio. I'll hold it like this. You don't hold it like that. It's a chain. I certainly do hold it like that. Yeah. So anyway, and it was just like, it was not a it sounds like, I do it with the tambourine on stage, but it's a it started from like basically just a piece of chain. Chain. Yeah.
All right, LP. Thanks for joining us, and for the second time.
That's it. Was it the hand motion that got you? Oh, no problem.
No, not at all.
Fucking with you. All right. Thank you
Thank
so
you
much.
so much.
Nice seeing you again.
Right, you too.
You're adorable. All right,
Thanks.
see you.
Bye.
See you. Bye.